I was watching, or more so listening to a episode of, what's that show called? It's the one with Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco. Nightcap, there we go, Nightcap. Shout out to them, by the way. Some of my favorite football players of all time, and they doing it big with their podcasts and whatnot. I mean, they do some amazing work. But anyways, on the latest episode, or one of the latest episodes, Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco were talking about how a lot of coaches and GMs, they're very impatient with younger quarterbacks. And it's funny that he mentioned that because he said everybody bases it off of the success factor, right? You know, you have some people that they get quarterbacks and they're ultimately contenders right away. You think about Patrick Mahomes. You think about Lamar Jackson. You think about Drake May. You think about Josh Allen, right? And these are all, very, very dope examples. I mean, even some of the older school quarterbacks. I ain't gonna say old school. I ain't gonna say full old school yet, but old enough, right? Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. Oh, he's probably old school. Ben Roethlisberger, so on and so forth. And what they don't realize is everybody's level of success is different. And Shannon Sharp, aka Unc, he made a mention about that. He said, you can't level or measure your success to somebody else's because you don't know what they do behind closed doors. And I absolutely agree with that. And that's what today's topic is today. We're just real quick. Before we get into that, this is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, your future life coach speaking, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. If you like what you're seeing, as always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification button to stay up to date with all of my future Teachable Tuesdays content. I want to talk to you guys really, really quick. Just give me about another 3 minutes of your time and I'm going to be out your way. Why it is so important for you to stay in your lane, to measure your own form of success and not compare it to somebody else's. Because here's the facts. What you do ain't gonna work for somebody else. What they do might not necessarily work for you. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, cool. We're built different. Our mindset is different. Our fortitude for success is different. One of the reasons why I stopped comparing myself to people so long ago, and I'm still working on it if I'm being transparent, it's an ever-going process, is because I realized that the journey that God has them on is completely different from the journey that he has me on, right? I can't look at things from your exact viewpoint because I don't know what you done been through. And vice versa. You can't look at things from my exact viewpoint because you don't know what I done been through. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It just simply means that I'm on my own path and I got to focus on the way that things work for me. Now, when I say focus on things that work for me, I'm not saying make excuses. If you want to be successful, you got to get to the bag. The bag doesn't necessarily always mean money. Sometimes it could literally simply mean, your work ethic, achieving your goals. Bag has many different forms, right? But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, if you want to be successful, you cannot worry about everybody else's success. You literally have to focus on what's going to make you successful, and that is the bottom line, right? Because here's the thing. If I focus too much on somebody else's success, what's going to happen is I'm going to get blindsided by the things that God has for me, the things that he wants me to do, so that way I could be successful. And then next thing you know, guess what? I'm falling off the path, looking at what player A, B, and C are doing, instead of focusing on what can I do to get where I need to get to. And where I need to get to may not necessarily be there. And when I say there, I think a lot of times when we do different things like sports, there's always one common goal, right? Football, you want to get the Lombardi trophy. Basketball, you want to win the championship and raise up that trophy, right? Music, you want to get a record deal or, become successful in different ventures. And so the common goals to some degree are the same, but then you got to think about the other factors, which I'm not going to get into this video, but just something to ponder on, right? The why. How does it benefit me to get to my end goal? And notice I said my end goal instead of the end goal, because the end goal can be very general. But when you focus on my end goal, now you're already putting yourself in a different plateau because you're no longer focused on what somebody else is doing, my being possession of myself, right? So bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, focus on your success. Focus on what God has for you. Focus on what makes you you. Don't worry about being in somebody else's lane. You driving, you trying to get in somebody else's lane, you're going to crash and burn. Or if you don't crash and burn, you're going to veer off the road. Because you're so focused on what their trajectory is, not realizing these are the opportunities you have to take while you're on the go, and so much more, right? Just something to think about, all right? Love y'all. Again, this is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Your future life coach speaking. I love you guys. As always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you stay up to date with all my future Teachable Tuesdays content, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.